Hello everyone, I am Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. This time we are reacting to a video from the whatever podcast. This is These Girls Cannot Understand This Simple Fact About Men. Men are very simple. We are easy to understand. That's just it. We're simple. We are very simple creatures. So let's see what this video has to say.
I do want to bring it back here really quick to our discussions of the guy making the guy who you like wait for sex, but the guy who you don't see any long-term potential, the Chad, the really good-looking guy, the guy when you're traveling, when he's traveling, he's in town for a night, you sleeping with him really quick. So I have two scenarios I'd like to paint, and I want your guys' feedback on this. So, thoughts on this scenario. You've been in a situation, in a situationship with a guy for 6 months. You really like him. You want him to commit to you, but he says he likes to take things slow. Somehow you find out that the last 3 girls he had a committed relationship with, he initiated the commitment conversation after only 3 weeks of dating. How does that make you feel?
Well, if he got through 3 relationships, like if 3 of them didn't work, maybe he does need to slow down. You know, like why 3 weeks in you're talking about commitment? I don't think 3 weeks is even enough time to know if you want to be committed to a person.
I actually don't think that 3 weeks, depending on how many times you've hung out with someone, is all that long.
It's exactly. So it's like she's
For a guy, when it comes to deciding on a relationship, it takes significantly less time for a guy to decide if the person he's with, if he wants a relationship with that person. I believe for women it takes longer to decide, but for men it's significantly a shorter time. It does not take long at all for men to decide whether or not he wants to date the person or not.
finding out, oh, he had this conversation 3 weeks after with these girls. You shouldn't feel type way. You should be lucky he's not having a conversation with you. I would be scared if a guy was talking about committing to me after 3 weeks. Like, barely know me. So it's like maybe he learned his lesson. It was like, all right, good. At least you're not trying to commit in the first month. Let's take it slow. But 6 months, I think you need to know what you want by 6 months at least.
I think most women would feel like shit.
Yeah, 6 months, have a year.
No, I mean like most women would feel like shit if they found out that like the guy slept with the
Here,
other
let's not hyper focus on the okay, if you think 3 weeks is too soon to have the commitment talk, fine. The point is that in all his past relationships, he initiated the commitment conversation. If you want to change the timeline to 2 months so it's more plausible, that's fine. But he hasn't done it with you.
If a guy wants to date you, you'll know that. Like, isn't that, well, that's what I've been learning from the boys. They'll know. And so when a guy usually says, I want to take it slow or whatever, usually that's like a red flag sign. Like, usually,
6 months.
or whatever. Usually they
exactly.
know right off the bat after first or second date if you're, obviously they'll get to know you more, but.
Okay, fine. Let me give you another analogy to try to make this,
Correct.
okay?
She's not wrong. You, with a guy, usually within the first date, he will know if the woman he is on a date with, he will know if he wants to date her longer or not. Obviously, like she said, he will still take the time to get to know you, but within the first or second date, he will know. That's how simple and quick men are with deciding.
So, don't shoot the messenger here. So, making a man wait while you smashed the hot dude that you knew you weren't going to commit to, just hooking up with a bunch of dudes. So making the man wait while you smashed Chad after a few beers on a slow Tuesday would be like me going to McDonald's, and while everyone else is eating there paid $1 for that cheeseburger, the clerks look at me and says, it's $1,000 for you, sir.
means you're special.
By the way, this is an analogy. I'm not trying
You're
to
calling
fucking...
women
No, I
cheeseburgers.
tried to say the same thing earlier. Like, that's exactly my point. It's like you guys, when you say this kind of stuff, it's like, hey, I don't want to commit to you. You're just a hot guy I'm on a date with, so I'm going to have sex with you immediately. And then you meet some other guy who's a gentleman to you. You're like, wow, I see long-term potential. I'm going to make him wait. If those two dudes ever meet, if there was a place where men like that ever shared stories, like the manosphere, then they're not going to allow that behavior. They're going to be like, wait, she didn't make you wait. She let you fuck on the first date, but she's making me wait. For you guys, you think, no. You're a relationship guy. You're special. That's not how he feels, though. He doesn't feel special because you had sex with the other guy on the first date. That's why.
Didn't you say you can't tell people how they feel?
Wait, what's that?
Didn't you say you can't tell me how to feel?
No, I'm gonna tell you how to feel. I'm telling you how the guy feels.
Exactly. How are you gonna say he feels that way? How do you know that?
A guy?
Well, guys have to put in work
Are
to
you
have
serious?
sex.
Like that's all they sit there and comment about this all the whole time. You really think guys don't feel that way? You really think a guy who's trying to be in a relationship with you is not going to be bothered by the fact that you let a bunch of other dudes fuck on the first date while you made him wait a month? You really think that?
I mean, why are you concerned about guys?
I'm not concerned about shit.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, why would the guy be concerned about guys?
Because body count matters.
Because
to
it does. It
men.
matters to them.
Really? Because I feel like
Yes, body count does matter to us. It is really hard to decide to date a woman that has been run through by metaphorically the entire fucking football team. I mean, if you've slept with maybe a couple dudes, one to three dudes, that's fine. That's not much. But if you've been run through by the entire fucking football team, yeah, it's gonna be a very, very tough decision whether or not to fucking date you. I mean, we'll probably sleep with you, yeah, fine, but dating material, probably not.
what matters is those test results, because you can have a body count of 3 and have the most deadly
No, that's not what.
disease in the world.
That's not what. There's literally studies from. There's literally studies that show like as women have more sexual partners before marriage, the likelihood of them being happy in a marriage decreases. But it's not.
Absolutely.
But it's not the same thing that happens for men.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing for men.
Absolutely. But when you
So it does matter. It would matter to me if you let a bunch of dudes smash on the first date,
for sure.
and you made me wait, bro.
Bunch? If you have a roster,
you better, and you
yeah.
hold on. And you better forget if we ever bump into each other, and then I found out that you didn't make him wait, you made me wait.
You're salty that I let a guy smash, and like what? Like I don't know. If you have a roster of guys you let smash on the first date, yeah, I'd be a little salty that like I wasn't on that roster. You should just let me smash too. But but it's like if it's like okay, I ran into this one guy that you let smash on the first date, and I'm the one guy that you didn't let smash on the one day. Are you really gonna be salty about that?
I'm telling you, a lot of guys would.
Can I
Yes,
say something?
unequivocally, most men would. Yes, absolutely.
Free.
This is not meant to be inflammatory at all, but this is what I was talking about when I say like the chasm between men and women. Like he's trying to tell you that like men feel a certain type of way, and you're trying to say like, well, why? That doesn't make sense. It's like, well, when we talk to men, we want them to understand how we feel in certain situations. Like we need to open our ears, you know what I mean, and like listen to what they're saying.
I was just speaking.
That woman seems to understand. I mean, you can't expect us to try and understand and validate your feelings when you yourself are not willing to do that. If you're not willing to do that, you can't expect other people to do it for you as well. That's not how the shit works. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
From my experience, like I
wasn't trying to like
no, absolutely, I understand. I've been in relationships. One, I'm not gonna lie, one of my first long-term relationships was my last long-term relationship. I did sleep with him on the first date, but I didn't see a relationship with him. We still were friends, and it was like, you know what, maybe we could pursue this after, but it just goes from there. I guess like it all goes off of vibe. Like I can date a guy, like I said, for 4 months and then sleep with him, and it's the worst decision of my life, or I can sleep with him the first date and it'd be a solid decision, or I can sleep with him first date and not want to pursue you after. Like
Right. My personal take on this, look, if you previously slept with, for example, 20 guys first night, then I come along and then you're going to make me wait. You want to make me wait 4 dates. Maybe you had a change of heart and that's just your standard moving forward. Again, it's your body. It's 100% your choice. I wouldn't try to like pressure a girl into it. However, we men are within our right to also view that and be like, what the
absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
But how many
It's your
guys
standards.
sleep on the
it's
first
one
night?
thing if it was
like the roles are reversed with guys. Like it's so socially acceptable for guys to do whatever they want, especially in a sexual manner. Like
When it comes to the sexual thing, the reason is because for guys, it is a hell of a lot harder for us to do that. We have to come with so many things in order to get a woman interested enough to sleep with us. We have to be funny, we have to be tall, we have to be fit, we have to make a lot of money, we have to be stable, we have to have all these sort of things Whereas women, they can be slightly attractive and easily sleep with somebody. It is a lot easier for a woman to have a sexual partner or to get sex than it is for a guy. That is a statistic and proven fact. You can believe it or not, it is a fact. It is a lot harder for a guy to get sex than it is for a woman.
And it also goes back to culture, and especially like most cultures are okay with guys doing whatever. Like literally, like I'm personally Latina, and in Latina culture, guys can do whatever they want.
That's true.
And they are not scrutinized by their mothers, grandmothers, nobody. And it's like it goes back to fucking decades and centuries.
The other reason is because why should we celebrate something that is? Why should we congratulate you for something that was easy? Reality in life doesn't celebrate or congratulate anybody for doing something that is easy.
Of just breeding masculinity, and in some cases, a lot of cases, toxic masculinity, but it's just like us.
There's no such thing as toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. They're just toxic people. That word annoys me. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity and femininity in and of themselves are not toxic. People in and of themselves can be just can be toxic.
As soon as a woman does something that's
No
like
such thing.
no such thing as toxic
No
masculinity.
such thing.
There are toxic people, and those toxic people can be masculine or feminine. But when the man pulls you out of your burning building, you don't give a fuck how masculine he is. There's no two masculine men. Masculinity is masculinity. Femininity is femininity.
There is such thing as toxic
There
masculinity.
is
No, there is not.
Disavow.
So toxic masculinity was a term created in the 1990s when psychologists were trying to study violent offenders in prison. When guys would step on each other's toes and then they would start stabbing each other, it was just a term that was used by those psychiatrists to determine a type of behavior where men would resort to extreme levels of violence for no reason. And then somehow mainstream psychology got a hold of it and became this pop term. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity. There is just masculinity, and then there are some people who are toxic. That has nothing to do with each other. I can show you tons of people who are extremely toxic online, and some of them are masculine and some are feminine, but the two are mutually exclusive. The idea of toxic masculinity is to shame men for doing things that other people don't agree with. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity.
Alrighty.
Word.
So
Hold on,
that's
okay.
fine.
He's not wrong. He's 100% right.
And maybe the word might not be using the right word, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's a man's world at the end of the day. It really is. And men are socially acceptable. It's acceptable for a man to like have sex with so many women, but as soon as it's a woman doing that, it's like crazy.
Well, it does go back to biology.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
because
it
the
really
reason
does.
why that it's socially acceptable and men get so much praise for it is because it's a lot harder for a man to get laid than a woman. So when a woman can 10 out of 10 most of the time a woman will get laid 10 out of 10. A man is not going to be 10 out of 10. So a man has to work a lot harder to have sex.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they
If,
say-
you know,
they
they
say
have to work a
what?
lot harder. It is what it is. Like
It's because life doesn't congratulate. Like I said, life doesn't say good for you for doing what comes easy. It's going to be good for you for doing something that is very hard to do. And I just realized she's dressed as one of the Quincy's from Bleach. I just realized that. She has, I forget what that symbol's called for the Quincy's. But yeah, she's dressed as a Quincy. Nice.
it is what it is. It's okay for a man to have sex with whoever, have one night stands, do whatever,
I mean,
have
it's
many
not
times
okay.
they
I
want.
mean, the Catholic Church would say that it's not okay.
right.
There's a
Okay,
lot
but
of
the
people
Catholic
say
Church
that.
also has kids, so what are we talking about here? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, here we go. I don't know.
All right, that's enough of that. We're not going to get into that. But it's true. The reason why men are praised more for having multitudes of sex partners is because for men, it is a lot harder for us to get sex than it is for women. It comes inherently easy for a woman to get sex than it does for men, because men have to bring so much in order to just get the woman interested enough to have sex with them on the first night. I mean, it's a proven fact. Like it or not, it is. It sucks, but it is true. Well, that is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please make sure to go check out my Twitch channel. Links to that and my other social medias and Discord are in the description below. If there are any other videos or any music you'd like me to react to, please make sure to comment down below and I will get to that as soon as I can. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.